since most of you are sitting down that I can see, let's start there. Find any way to sit comfortably. Last night's practice was much about savoring and paying attention to things that we might take for granted, even during these times when a lot of our normalcy is not here. And today, I want to read about, where's that page? Bringing all to your practice. So it's a very brief quote from the book Meditations from the Mat. It starts by John Wellwood. He says, being human means discovering our fullness and learning to live from it. Bring your all to your practice. Do not use it just as a means to control your weight, your appearance, or the effects of aging or anything else. Let your practice be a means to discover your fullness. Be vulnerable, be sad, be happy, be mad, but be there. Just let it happen. Life is about giving, and through giving, we receive everything that we need. Let your practice be about giving. Give of your heart, give of your spirit, give of your virtue. As Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. So how do we embrace the fullness of our being within the context of the physical yoga practice and even the mental, especially as we end in meditation? Not avoiding things that might feel uncomfortable or too vulnerable, but being right there with a sense of compassion to ourselves. Not forcing us through it, but allowing it to breathe itself known to us. So it's through that practice of self-awareness I invite you to join us today. Let's place the left hand on the center of your chest, the right hand on your lower belly, and start to press downward into what you're sitting on. And allow that rebound to lift upward through the center of your spine and the top of your head. Take notice, just as it is, the way your body is breathing right now, without trying to manipulate it at first, and just allow it to give you information of what's present in your mind, emotions, physical states, and energy. So that it's through that kind attention as we move throughout this hour, that attention to our various states of being, that allows deep meaning in this practice, perhaps insight. And now perhaps you have a dedication you want to set, an intention you want to clarify. Starting to deepen your breath into both palms, expanding into the belly, up through the top of your chest, and sweetly exhaling to your mouth. Slowing the breath down. This time as you arrive at the top, pause a moment. See if you could even sip in a little more air and really feel that fullness without force, but curiosity. And as you open the mouth, feeling that full release, you dwell at the very bottom empty. And exploring the depths of each breath. Allow the breath to become more present through sound as you whisper it out to your mouth. Feeling more senses interacting as you feel the breath touch and graze the back of your throat. Now appreciating the breath through as many senses as you can, an act of savoring it. You're going to cultivate a feeling of balance through it. As you consciously breathe in, as slowly as you breathe out. And now beginning to warm up the body by closing the lips using Ujjayi Pranayama. Listening to that gentle whisper as you breathe, softly open your eyes. And let's slowly make our way down to all fours. setting your knees just under your hips and your wrists a couple inches ahead of your shoulders. Look down at your hands and point your index fingers forward so they're parallel to each other. The wrists are shoulders distance or wider apart. Really root down through thumbs flat and then tuck your toes. Feel that your feet are a little wider than hips distance. Bending your knees generously, push the ground with your hands to lift your hips as high as you can, drawing your weight towards the rear of your mat. Look down. Listening to your breath, start to pedal your feet slowly in place. As you drop one heel, you might pause for a full breath. Feel the lengthening into the calf and hamstring, and then switching sides a few times. Feel the strength of your arms lengthening as you lift the shoulders up and back, releasing your head. Create space in your neck. Now you might even start to turn out the foot as you straighten the leg, looking under that side of your armpits, lengthening that side of your torso. Swiveling the hips side to side, softly shaking or nodding the head. So as you ground your fingers spread the shoulder blades wide across your back ribs by rolling the triceps or outer upper arms towards the ground. And while lifting the hips, feel free to bend the knees as much as you need to get the most length in your spine through the height of your hips, drawing back. Then firm the fronts of your thigh bones back and hug the belly close to your spine. Feel your center here, right below your belly button. Let's take 3 deep breaths there. As though I'm standing right behind your mat, pulling your hips towards the ceiling and back wall. Feel that constant lengthening through the spine. Now as you continue to hug the belly close to the back, breathe in and shift forward into plank, top of a push-up. So as you stack your shoulders right above your wrists, look on the floor ahead of your hands. You could opt to lower your knees if you want more support, especially in the beginning. Let's take about 3 more breaths here as you lift the sides of your waist. Try to feel that your chest and belly are on the same plane. If your legs are straight, actively press the heels back so you feel the fronts of your thighs engaged. Keeping this long line in your spine, with an exhale, shift forward and very slowly bend your elbows back to hug your side ribs, passing through chaturanga, then coming all the way down. Set your wrists alongside your floating ribs and point your toes firmly against the mat. As you keep your pelvis grounded, contract your upper middle back and lift the chest lightly, looking down ahead in cobra for a few breaths. Feel that your neck is not rigid. You could easily turn the head, shoulders are relaxing down, the elbows are hugging close. Then as you press through your hands, lift up to your hands and knees or plank pose. Engage your belly and slowly lift the tailbone back again to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and listen to the breath out through the nose. As you exhale next, walk your feet to the front of your mat to stand in a forward fold. Separating the feet, still hips width or wider. Look down and see that your second toes are parallel. Bend your knees as much as needed to reach the hands behind your back and interlace your fingers or hold a strap. As you breathe in, lift the chest and elongate your spine forward. Feel your weight shift heavier towards the balls of your feet and keep it there as you exhale to fold in. Bending the knees as much as you need to truly release the spine, especially your neck. As your arms are lifting away from your lower back, bend your elbows slightly to help lift your shoulders away from your neck. Breathing in. Exhale, release the hands. Bend your knees a lot. And as you breathe in, firm your belly and roll your spine slowly upright, stacking one vertebra at a time and lifting your head last. So that as you rise, you might shrug the shoulders before rotating them behind you and down. And turn the palms to face forward, standing tall in mountain pose, Tadasana. Spread your weight through the 4 corners of each foot, energizing your legs as you lift your chest, the crown of your head, and soften the shoulders down. Take a full cycle of breath. Then breathing in, sweep your arms overhead, gazing past your palms touching. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Lengthen your spine as you fold. Press down with your hands and inhale, lift your chest, extend your heart forward. Lower your fingertips and step your left knee back to a low lunge. Untuck the toes. From down to your right foot and raise the arms, slowly lifting the spine, coiling the chest up lightly. Circle your hands flat to the mat and step into plank of your version. Take a breath in plank and glide forward. As you exhale, hug the elbows to your sides to lower again all the way down. Breathe into Cobra, relaxing the shoulders. Press to your hands and exhale as you lift, draw the belly in to send the hips back. Downward dog. Take a full breath in and out through your nose. Now keeping your hips squared, inhale, raise the left leg behind you. And exhale, step the left foot slowly inside of your left hand, setting the right knee down, untuck the toes. Firm the left foot down as you raise the arms and coil your chest up towards the sky. Circling the hands to the front of your mat, exhale, step forward to bow. Firming down through both feet, inhale, raise the arms looking up as you stand. Exhale, gather your palms together at your heart for side 2 of Surya Namaskar C. Inhale, sweep the space around you. Exhale, dive into a forward fold. Press the ground of your legs. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen forward. Lower your fingertips, step right knee back to a kneeling lunge. Untuck the toes. Firm off the left foot and raise the arms, coiling the chest up into a light back bend. Circle your hands to the floor. Step to plank. And now exhale directly forward and down. Cobra or upward facing dog. Firm down through the tops of your feet. Exhale, firm in through the belly, downward facing dog. Let's pause, taking a slow breath. From downward dog, inhale, raise your right leg. As you exhale, carefully set the right foot forward just inside of your right hand. Lower the back knee into a kneeling lunge. From the right foot down as you raise the arms and lift the chest, inhaling. Circle the hands to the top of your mat, exhaling to step forward and fold. Press to your feet, inhale, rise up, palms touching overhead. Exhale, mountain pose. Sun salutation A as we continue to warm up. Standing tall, breathe in, raise the arms up. And exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen. Step to plank. If you normally jump back, make sure you land with your elbows already bent in Chaturanga. Inhaling into Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Let's pause there for 3 to 5 breaths. As we start to shift around in our bodies, creating movements, observe what arises to the surface. Whether it be physical, mental, emotional, just being observant to what's there in all its fullness. As you bend your knees, look ahead of your hands. Try this. Exhale first, hold the breath out, and as you hold the breath, lift your pelvic floor to walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat. Landing in a forward fold, then inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. We're down through the legs. Inhale, rise tall. Palms touch. Exhale to mountain pose. Let's take one more sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step to plank or lightly flow into Chaturanga. In your own way, moving through your vinyasa. Breathing in to lift the heart. Breathing out to lift the hips back. Downward facing dog for a few breaths.
Take a moment to connect with the breath in a comfortable seated position or lying with your back on the floor. Inhale to the count of 4.
Take a few breaths in downward facing dog.
2, 3.
Didn't know this music had some talking in it. And now in downward dog, look and see that your feet are hips width. Spin your left foot to turn out and press the heel down. Bend your right knee towards your nose and step your right foot right between your hands for Warrior Two. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot, and then press your both feet and windmill your arms apart to stand. Now see that as you open your arms, your wrists are pretty much right above your ankles through this wide stance. And now feel how you're turning out your right leg completely from the hip so that the knee and middle toe follow, tracing the midline of your mats. As you turn in the left leg slightly, press the top of that thigh bone back and feel your pelvis like a shape of a bowl situate upright. Then bring your attention from your lower spine all the way up to your neck, lifting through the top of your head as you breathe. Soften the shoulders down. Feeling your own balancing of your strength with softness and grace. Let's take about 3 more breaths here in Virabhadrasana 2. Now, as you press down through both of your feet firmly, engage the fronts of your thighs and straighten both legs. Flip the right palm up, lift the sides of your waist, then lean towards the back of your mat in a reverse triangle pose. So your left hand just lightly lands on your left leg, lengthening into that right side body as you relax the shoulders down. Continue to hug your belly close to your spine, supporting your lower back here for just a couple more breaths. Feel how your weight is evenly distributed. You're firming down through the big toe mound of your right foot, as well as the outer edge of your left foot. Now keep doing that as you rise up for triangle. Slide your hips sideways towards the rear edge of your mat and reach your right hand beyond your right knee, so you're lengthening that right side of your torso as you decide how high or low to place the right hand on your leg, or just to the right side of your leg directly under your left shoulder. As you stack your 2 wrists, if it feels okay on your neck, look up past your left thumb. Take a deep breath and feel the full length of your spine. Softening the shoulders down your back ribs. Drawing the right hip back towards your left outer heel. As you firm the belly in, rotate your chest slightly towards the sky. Let's take about 3 more deep breaths here in Udita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Nice. Bring your left hand to your left hip as we take this into flight and half moon. Look down just in front of your right foot. Bend your right knee. Begin to walk your right fingertips about 6 inches ahead of your right pinky toe out to the right upper corner. Dragging your left foot forward, flex your left foot, stabilizing through both legs. The right leg stays just as it was in triangle. Raise the left heel to the height of your hip and turn your chest open again to the left, just like you did in triangle. Breathe expansion into your physical space. Feel the release of the exhalation. Let go of any unnecessary tension. Maybe if your balance feels pretty stable, raise your left arm up and restack your wrists like you did in triangle. Notice how this is pretty much the same shape as triangle pose. Draw the right hip back towards your lifted heel. Turn your chest to the left. Now, if there's any other variation you want to play with, like Shavasana, where you slowly bend the left knee towards your belly and catch the top of the foot with your left hand, you could play with that. Otherwise, if you're ready to, we'll softly land in Warrior Two by bending the right knee and stepping the left foot towards the rear of your mat, coming back to where we started. And when you land in Warrior Two, let's flip the palms to face up, perhaps bringing the thumb and first finger to touch and closing your eyes for 3 deep breaths, grounding in your own presence. The end of your exhalation, windmill your hands to the earth. If you want to flow, feel free to take your own vinyasa or cat-cow. Otherwise, we'll meet in downward facing dog. taking notice if any time your body needs to rest. You always have the option of pausing in child's pose or any other rest. Full inhale. And let it go, breathing out. As you arrive in downward dog, see that your feet are hips distance. Then turn out your right foot. Press the right heel down. Bend your left knee towards your nose and step the left foot directly between your hands, front and center on your mat. Align your left heel to the arch of your right foot, then firm down through your feet and cartwheel the arms open to rise. Second side. So see as you open your arms, your wrists are just above your ankles. Then steady your gaze just past your left hand as you feel these adjustments internally through your mind's eye. Feel how your right knee and toes are pointing slightly towards the front edge of your mat, and how your left leg is completely turned out to face the front of your mat as you bend the knee over the ankle. Feel how your pelvis is oriented upright with a slight engagement of your lower belly. Trace your attention up your spine and feel space as you lift your heart and the crown of your head. Now feel the ease as you breathe out, releasing the shoulders down. About 2 more breaths here in Virabhadrasana 2. Feeling solid in your connection to the earth under your feet. Straighten both of your legs. Lift the sides of your waist, then flip the left palm to sweep it up and overhead towards the rear of your mat in reverse triangle pose. Feel the left side of your torso lengthen. Feel your navel draw in, close to your spine. Now rising up, keep firming down through your feet for triangles. Slide your hips towards the back edge of your mat and reach your left hand past your left knee before deciding how low to place that left hand on your leg or just to the left side of the leg so that you can stack the right shoulder directly on top of the left wrist. Raising the right arm, maybe look up towards your right thumb if it feels okay on your neck. Take a deep breath and feel the length of your spine. Feel the broadening across your heart space through the reach of your arms. Feel your center stable, strong as you rotate your chest slightly upwards to face the sky. Let's feel the fullness this posture has to bring in the next 3 breaths. With eyes soft, steadying your gaze. Start to transition into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So steady your gaze downward in front of your left foot. You might place your right hand on your right hip as you transition. Bend your left knee, crawl your left fingertips about 6 inches forward, then out to the left upper corner of your left pinky toe. Drag your right foot forward and flex the foot as soon as it leaves the ground, lifting the heel to the height of your hip. Breathe. Feel steadiness at your center. Turning your chest completely to face the right, feel that your right shoulder is stacking above your left wrist. If it's not, adjust your left hand. Maybe you feel stable enough to raise the right arm. There's no good or bad, and just feeling into what is, what's here to work with. Maybe you play with bending the right knee towards your belly, adding Chapasana, where you're kicking the right leg towards the back of your mat while pulling the foot like a bow and arrow. Take a few more breaths, and at your own time, begin to step the right foot back to Warrior Two as softly as you can. So that when you land both feet on the ground again in Warrior Two, you flip the palms face up, maybe bring the thumb and first finger to touch, and close your eyes, being here with no rush. 3 full breaths. At the end of your exhale, cartwheel your hands to the earth and lower through a vinyasa if you choose. Otherwise, again, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Feeling the balance you consciously create in the sound of your breath. Now in downward facing dog, bend your knees, look ahead of your hands. The bottom of the exhale, lightly land your feet to touch at the top. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Let your knees come together to touch as you bend them in chair, sinking your weight towards your heels, but reach the arms forward, not up. Now imagine there's a wall behind your back. Start to slide your back down that wall to sit your pelvis onto the mat. Right away, lifting your feet in bow, think of lifting your pelvic floor as you draw the navel towards your spine, lift it up towards your heart. Maybe you catch hold of the backs of your thighs or the floor, or maybe you keep the hands free. Perhaps you straighten the legs for the last 4 breaths. Take a deep inhale and lift your heart. Exhale and relax the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Deep breath in. Exhale, 2. Another breath in. Exhale, very slowly step your feet on the mat. Press your feet flat on the ground and sit tall again. Keep extending the arms forward, the shoulders relax. And now take several breaths to very slowly lower 1 vertebra at a time to lie on your back, keeping your knees bent. Feeling your team of many core muscles all around your torso helping you to lower gently. So that when you bring your head to the ground, you raise the legs, keeping the knees bent, so that your shins are parallel to the floor, your knees are directly above your hips. Now in this shape, it's like you're sitting in a chair as you lie on your back, so place your hands on your lap as though you were sitting on the chair. As you activate your transverse abdominis, the very deep lower belly muscle, with your hands, start to push your thighs away from your belly as you resist against your hands with your thighs. Feel how that engages the lower abdomen deeper. Now relax the shoulders down, keep the head on the ground and breathe. Lengthening your tailbone forward towards the edge of your mat beyond your feet. We're here for just about 20 more seconds. If you'd like to add breath of fire, close the lips and take short, quick, passive inhales through the nose and active exhales through the nose, percussively bouncing the belly towards the spine like this. We're down to 5 more seconds. Pressing the thighs away, thighs resist, lower belly engages, tailbone lengthens forward. From here, take a deep breath in, hold the breath, think of lifting your pelvic floor, zippering the navel in and up towards the heart. And then open the mouth, catch hold of your bent knees and splay them open, like you're a frog lying on its back. Gently flex your feet. You might like to just shimmy the hips, side to side. Take a deep breath. Out through the nose. So we're going to add a little more of what we did last night. Let's extend the legs straight up. So now you're like an L shape in your body. Point or flex your feet, either one. Then interlace your fingers and point your index fingers up towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulders down your back. Take an inhale, then exhale, lift your head and shoulders off the floor and twist to the right, pressing the left forearm against your right thigh. Now you can stay here, but if your neck needs support, use your right hand behind your skull. But spiral the torso, engage the belly. Take a deep breath in and lower the left foot forward to hover about 2 inches off your mat. Exhale, slowly lift the left leg again. Inhale, hover the left leg. Exhale, lift, that's 9. Inhale, hover, reach through your index fingers. Exhale, 8, towards the upper right corner of the room. Inhale, hover. Exhale, 7. Inhale, reach. Exhale, 6. Draw the navel in. Inhale, hover. Exhale, 5. Slow and controlled movements. Inhale, hover. Exhale, 4. Relax the face. Inhale, hover. Exhale 3. We're almost there. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Being in the fullness of this experience, whatever it is, lift the leg, lower the head and shoulders, and bend the knees. Catch your bent knees with your hands and gently rotate your thighs apart and together a few times. Massaging into your hip sockets, massaging your lower back and glutes against the ground. Switch directions and take a few more steady breaths. Breathing in and out to your nose. All right, side 2, raise the legs straight up, point or flex your feet. Interlace the fingers towards the ceiling, except the index pointing up. Take a deep breath in, contract the belly as you exhale, lifting the head and shoulders, twist to your left. Press the right forearm against your left outer thigh and reach the index fingers towards the upper left corner of the room. Inhale, lower the right leg slowly towards the floor. Stop about 2 inches off the ground. Exhale, lift the leg slowly. Inhale, hover, engaging the lower belly as you twist. Exhale, lift, that's 9. Inhale, hover. If your neck needs support, use your left hand behind your head. Exhale, 8. Inhale, hover. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Doesn't it feel good that we're all doing this together? Exhale, 6. Inhale, hover. Exhale, 5. Steady breath. Inhale, hover. Exhale, 4. Deep inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale, reach. Exhale, 2. Last breath here. And exhale, lift. This time, straighten your legs flat on the floor. Raise your arms overhead and get a long stretch through both ends of your body. You might even like to interlace your fingers and flip your palms inside out. Roll out the feet. Lion's breath. Take a deep inhale. Open your mouth and eyes wide and stick out your tongue as you exhale. Once more. This time, maybe cross the eyes as you breathe out. Inhale. Tongue out, lion's breath. Reach the arms, release the hands apart. Take a deep breath. Then exhale, contract your belly and hug your knees into your chest to round like a ball. Start to rock either sideways or forward and back a few times, massaging your back and also building momentum to eventually land standing in mountain pose right at the top of your mat. Let's bring the feet to touch for one round of Surya Namaskar B. Get back into the flow. Bring that energized center with you. Here we go. Bend your knees to touch. Inhale into chair. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Step or float back into your vinyasa. Inhaling to lift the heart. Exhaling to downward facing dog. One breath each movement. Inhale, raise the right leg, squaring the hips. Exhale, lightly step the foot forward and to the right. Drop the back heel. Face forward. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale, lower into your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in to lift the chest. Breathe out to lift the hips. Second side, inhale, raise the left leg, squaring your hips. Exhale, step the left foot forward off to the left. Drop the right heel. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale, lower into your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. And downward facing, 3 to 5. Re-steadying breaths. Feel the power of your rootedness through finger spread, lifting the shoulders and hips back, creating length throughout your spine as you press the fronts of your thigh bones back. Finishing the salutation B, bend your knees and look forward. At the bottom of the exhalation, hold the breath and lightly land at the top. Feet touch. Inhale to lengthen forward. Exhale to fold. Knees touch, bend your knees, sink your weight towards your heels. Let's add a twist in chair, join your hands at your hearts. Now as you sink the hips low and lift the heart up, exhale, begin a twist to your right, just turning the rib cage so you're twisting at the waist. Now, as you see your knees, make sure that not one knee is forward or the other, keeping the hips balanced. Maybe cross the left arm outside the right thigh. If you are using arm balances in your practice, you might come into a revolved crow, where you place the hands on the outside right edge of your mat facing the right, knees continue to face the front of your mat, and you bend the elbows towards the left side of your mat, pressing the right thigh against one or both upper arms as you look ahead of your fingertips. Deep breaths, about a couple more cycles. So whichever version of the spinal twist. Start to make your way back to chair, raising the arms, sinking the hips. Breathe in chair. Exhale to rise all the way up. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Maybe add a gentle back bend, lifting the chest. Exhale, bend the knees lightly as you fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the chest. Exhale, fold again. Feet touch, knees touch. Bend your knees in chair. Exhale, start to twist to your left. So if you look at your knees, see that they're both in the same line, not one is forward of the other. You could add the leverage of your right arm, pressing against your left thigh. If you're moving into the arm balance, get deep into the twist first, then plant your hands to the left edge of your mat, bending the elbows towards the right edge of your mat, so that you can use your left thigh to push off of both upper arms. Looking ahead of your index fingers, take a couple more breaths. As we all have different energies today, our practice is going to look different. As you honor yours, make your way back to chair, sinking your hips, raising the arms, one inhale. And exhale to rise up. Standing tall. So I want to offer a couple of options for an upright balancing posture. Whether you move into tree pose, we're going to start by lifting the left leg in a moment. Tree, keeping the spine upright, or coming into a preparation for a flying single pigeon where you cross the left ankle over the right thigh and flex the foot, bending the right knee, sort of like a one-legged chair pose. So let's start the same way in mountain. Join your hands together at your heart, spread your toes, and press into the ground. Feel the calmness of your breathing. As you steady your gaze ahead, shift your weight onto your right foot and just lift your left knee in front of you as you flex the left foot. Feel your two hips rebalance. Draw the navel in towards your spine and up. Then turn out your left leg. Either come into tree, hugging the foot inside of your right leg, or cross the left ankle over your right thigh as you flex the left foot and begin to bend the right knee, drawing your sitting bones evenly back as you breathe. Now, if you're in tree, you can take any variations with your arms. If you are bending the right knee, draw the navel in, look forward, you might raise the arms. If you're itching for an arm balance here, you could set the hands on the floor. And if you are, the hands are about a foot in front of your right toes, and you're still flexing the left foot to wrap the top of it outside the right upper arm, so that when you bend the elbows back and parallel the arms, you could cross the left shin across both upper arms and spring your weight off of it. By looking ahead, you might be able to tilt your weight forward and lift the back leg. Simply using these postures as tools. How do we feel into what's there and feel strong just through the effort we put in? Not being attached to a specific outcome. Start to make your way into mountain pose. Both feet on the ground, releasing the arms. Once there, just close your eyes for a moment and take 3 deep breaths to digest whatever's here right now. And as you open your eyes, step your feet together, join your hands at your hearts. Steady your gaze ahead. Shift your weight onto your left foot, bend your right knee in front of you, and flex the right foot. Pause. Feel your center as you balance your hips. Then turn out your right leg and either enter tree if you did so on the first side, or cross your right ankle over your left thigh and flex your right foot as you bend your left knee and sink both hips back. Taking your time, just being in whatever is there in each breath. Moving from posture to posture is just like experimenting with various contexts in which we play with our own ability to find a sense of steadiness and calm within change. Not having to control the outcome in particular, but being able to witness it and witness ourselves throughout the process. Take your time. When you're ready to, let's meet in mountain pose. Closing your eyes, standing tall. 3 full breaths. So let's come down to our knees, standing for camel pose, one round as we work our way through heart openers, or a few more heart openers. And as you're standing on your knees, if you need more cushion, you could fold the mat thicker on that end, just under your knees. Tuck your toes behind you. See that your knees are your hips width apart. And place your hands on your lower back with your fingertips pointing down. Now, as you keep your pelvis directly above your knees the entire pose, gently press your hips forward with your hands and draw your tailbone downward. Actively lengthen the lower back as you firm the belly in. Take a deep breath and lift your back ribs. Roll your shoulder heads back. Bend your elbows closer together and begin to coil your chest up. As you start to look up, you might start to reach for one heel behind you with one hand, holding it like a baseball. If that causes your pelvis to sway behind the knees, then just let it go. More important, keep the pelvis above the knees. But if you're able to, maybe you reach both heels. And you take another 3 to 5 breaths on your own until you're ready to use your hands on your lower back and roll the spine upright. Camel pose, Ustrasana. Once you roll the spine upright, just come to sit for a pause, couple of deep breaths. Then start to lower onto the ground, lying on your belly for the next heart opening back bends. Now, if you've got any issues in the lower back, like chronic pain or stiffness there these days, then I invite you to take locust pose where the arms are free down by your sides and you lift the legs straight like this. Otherwise, bend your knees for bow. Reach your hands back and catch your outer feet. In both options, make sure not to splay your knees wider apart than your hips. Helps to protect your lower back. Kick your legs towards straight if you're in bow, while pulling your feet to lift your knees. Then right under your scapula is where you want to bend the back to lift the chest. Without cranking the neck, take about 5 breaths in total before you let everything go to rest. Sliding the shoulder blades down. Feel that you could, if you wanted to, turn your head so the neck doesn't feel rigid. Relax the face. Feel the breath expand your lungs. And when you decide to let it go, turn your head to one side or make a pillow out of your forearms to rest your head. And either gently shimmy your hips left and right to help release your lower back, or bend your knees and softly swing both shins left and right. As you lie on your stomach, breathe into it deeply, helping to stimulate the organs within. Then exhale to your mouth, cooling off a bit. Again, breathe into your stomach and draw it out to your mouth. From here, let's just roll over onto our backs for the last back bend, just right where you are. So either preparing for bridge pose or upward facing bow, start the same way by bringing your arms down by your sides. And as you bend the knees, locate your feet. Step them back until you can almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not. Make sure that your feet are parallel and hips distance apart. Now, if you're going into bridge, the arms stay right here to start. If you're going into upward bow, bend your elbows towards the ceiling, keep your arms parallel, and plant your hands alongside your ears, pointing the fingertips towards your shoulders and slightly turned out. Either way, begin by lifting the hips and grounding the feet entirely while stretching the thighs forward parallel. Activate your hamstrings. Then if you're in bridge, slide the upper arms under your back ribs, maybe interlace the fingers. Otherwise, you press through the hands, bring the crown of your head to the mat, and then maybe lift the head by pressing more firmly through the hands. Remember the back bending just under the shoulder blades, so think of elongating the lower back. Take about 5 breaths in total before you gently lower to rest. Now when you come down to rest, separate your feet wider than hips width and drop your knees together bent. Again, breathe into your belly, also helping to calm your nervous system. Breathe out through the lips, cooling off. Inhale into your belly. Exhale to your mouth. Gently roll over to one side, press into the ground, and slowly lift your torso upright to sit. Coming into some seated spinal twists. So now that you're sitting upright, straighten your left leg forward. Set up with either your right foot in front of your right hip, or cross the right foot outside of your left knee, or also bend your left knee, choosing the version that allows your 2 sitting bones to evenly ground and your spine to be upright. Then circle your right hand to the floor behind your pelvis and press into the floor with every part of your body touching it. Raise the left arm and breathe in to lift and lengthen the spine. Breathe out, twist to your right, and lower your left hand, either onto your right shin or hooking the left elbow outside of your right thigh. Press into the ground again and breathe in to lift up through each vertebra of your spine. Relaxing the shoulders, exhale and deepen the twist for a few more breaths. This is another digestion promoting posture, massaging the organs within the belly, as well as decompressing the spine, stretching into the lower back. You might even feel it in your glutes and outer hips. At the end of this exhalation, unwind your spine. And let's come into cow face pose. Hug your thighs close together, whether you decide to splay the feet apart so the right thigh is still on top, flexing the feet, or if you prefer to straighten the left leg so that you're able to ground evenly, flexing both feet. And from here, let's cactus the elbows apart, and we'll take a counterbalance for the upper back, crossing the left elbow over the right. Either hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms in palms. And sliding your shoulder blades down your back ribs, lift your elbows to the height of your shoulders, and gently press your forearms away from your face. Breathe in, sit tall. Breathe out if you prefer, start to bow, which will offer a deeper sensation into your outer hips. Each inhale, ground the pelvis and continue to lengthen your spine, keeping your throat open as you fold deeper. Let's take a few more breaths here. Feel your shoulder blades broaden as you expand the lungs towards your back ribs. Now, firming the belly, lead with your chest and breathe in to slowly rise up. Backstroke the arms apart and straighten both legs. So let's set up the twist like you did on the first side, unless you've got something completely different going on this side of your body. Left foot either in front of the hip, crossed outside of the right knee, or also bend the right knee. Circle your left hand behind your pelvis. Raise your right arm. Breathe in, press into the ground and lengthen your spine. Breathe out, twist to your left, and either hold the top shin or hook your elbow outside that thigh. Breathe in. As you lengthen the spine, lift your heart too. Breathe out, relax the shoulders, hollow the belly, and deepen the twist. A few more breaths. Tune in to any slightest shifts in the way you're feeling. At the end of this exhale, unwind your spine, but keep your left thigh on top as you crisscross the legs even more. Whether you splay the feet apart flexed or you straighten the bottom leg. Then cactus your elbows apart and this time cross the right elbow over the left. So opposite leg on top, opposite arm on top. Either hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms. Soften the tops of your shoulders down, but lift your elbows to the height of your shoulders. Gently press your forearms away from your face, press into the earth, and lift your spine towards the sky. Exhaling, begin to bow if you want to deepen this into your hips. Breathe in as you lengthen and ground. Breathe out as you bow. So this is a hybrid of two postures in your legs. You're practicing cow face pose, Gomukhasana. But in your arms, you're practicing eagle pose, Garudasana. So this is an eagle cow, like a totem pole. Start to ground to your sitting bones. Lead with your chest. Breathe in to slowly rise. And release the arms, release the legs straight. Let's come into straight legs in front for Paschimottanasana. Separate your feet hips width, and if you have a strap and want to use it, you can wrap it around the balls of your feet. Otherwise, hands alongside of your hips, flex your feet, ground the pelvis, lift your spine, and as you breathe out, start to hinge forward from your hips. If you don't have a strap, hold on to something, the backs of your legs, big toes. Can you integrate a tiny bit of the back bend, like cobra pose, lifting the chest slightly and drawing the shoulder blades down your back? Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Now lifting from your chest, breathe in to slowly rise. So choose a cooling inversion, which doesn't include headstand or handstand, but instead either lying on your back with legs up a wall, glutes against the wall, or shoulder stand if you normally practice it and you know how to do so safely, or simply lie on your back and like an L shape, lift your legs up. These can be bent as well. So find a cooling, relaxing manner of lifting your legs higher than your heart, just for about half a minute. And while there, perhaps close your eyes, more consciously soften parts of your body that can release effort while you're there. Prolonging the exhalations longer than the inhalations to add to that quality of release. And take your time to gently lower your body into a position of complete rest in Shavasana. If your legs are at the wall, feel free to stay there if that's completely restful for you. And as your body is able to unwind into stillness, close your eyes and also let your breath unwind to its natural flow. A few minutes here before we end with a couple minutes of meditation. Now for the remainder of 2 minutes, choose to either stay where you are longer in Shavasana or begin to lift your body upright to sit in meditation. And if you are sitting, feel your spine upright and your body relaxed, as well as your breath. And invite you to be in a state of observation, a neutral observation, allowing whatever thoughts, images, sensations, and feelings to arrive and pass as you ground in the feeling of your breath. 2 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out. And if you're still lying down, begin to gently lift your body up. As you're sitting, join your palms to meet at your heart, lifting your heart as you bow in to greet whatever has surfaced through your practice of embracing the fullness of your experience. Let's close with one Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Enjoy your lunch because your digestion's ready.
Michelle. I'm really hungry. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day. Bye. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Wait. Okay, wait. Ow. Ow.
You okay?